Hey friends, what's up? And welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Tes, Daf 9 of Taanis. Daf Tes, pretty awesome. Shall we just jump in? Yeah, I think so. Let's just do it. Alright, so we're on Daf Chesamud Bey is about, 6 lines from the bottom. Kibbutz Gayosos Tzedakah Parnas Siman. Okay, some kind of way for you to remember stuff if you're into remember things in ways that are confusing. Amr Rabbi Yochanan, it says Rabbi Yochanan, Gadol Yom HaGesham Ki Yom Kibbutz Galios. Ooh, well that sounds fun. That a rainy day is as amazing as the ingathering of the exiles. Wow, that sounds fun. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Shuva Hashem Shivisenu Kafikim Banegev. That Eibishter return our people who need to be returned like the streams in the desert. Bein afikim elamater, and afikim is like water, rain, stuff. So Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Vayiru afike yom, that they saw the afikim of the sea. So that's water, and so when it rains, it's like as awesome as the ingathering of the exiles. That sounds very nice. From Rabbi Yochanan, it says Rabbi Yochanan, Gadol Yom HaGeshamim Shafilu Gayosos Poskis Bo. Rainy days are so geshmak that even the soldiers stop soldiering. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Tlamel Rove, its furrows may you saturate, Nochis Gidudea, and its soldiers will just chill the heck out. And from Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, and Geshamim Netzan Ele B'Shvil Poskei Tzedakah B'Rabim V'Nosnin. Oh, says Rabbi Yochanan that the reason why rain doesn't come is because you have fellows who say publicly that they're going to give all this charity, but lemaise they don't do it. Shenemar, the pasuk says, "Nesim v'ruach v'geshem oyin ish misal b'matas sheker," that there's wind and there's wind and there's rain. No, but there's no rain. There's all sort of the indications that there's going to be rain, but there is no rain. That is basically because of the similarity or the causality between a fellow who says he's going to give all these things, but he's lying. From Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, what does the pasuk mean? Eiser taiser uah. So what does the pasuk mean that you shall surely tithe? Friends, you ready for this? Maybe you've heard this. It says Rabbi Yochanan, aser b'shvil shetis asher. Tithe, aser, take meiser, tithe, so that you should become an asher, so that you should become wealthy. That by separating the tithes, you will become wealthy. Ashkech Rabbi Yochanan li'nuka de Rish Lakish. So Rabbi Yochanan found Rish Lakish's yingel. He found Rish Lakish's little boy. Now, Rish Lakish, of course, was Rabbi Yochanan's brother-in-law. And so this was Rabbi Yochanan's nephew. Omerle Emily Psukech, and Rabbi Yochanan says to this yingel, he says, "No, tell me what you're learning in yeshiva. Tell me the psukim that you're learning." Omerle Eiser Taiser, and the yingel says that he's learning the pasuk of Aser to Aser, that you shall surely tithe. Omerle Umay Eiser Taiser, and then the nephew, the boy, he says to Rabbi Yochanan, so what does it mean that you shall surely tithe? So Omle aser b'shvil shetis asher. Tithe so that you shall become wealthy. Omle menalach. So this yingel, he says to Rabbi Yochanan, he says, how do you know that if a fellow separates his tithes, he will become wealthy? So Omle zil nasi. So Rabbi Yochanan says, no, try it. Go see. Separate tithes and see if you become wealthy. To which the yingel says, are you allowed to test the Eibishter? The pasuk says, don't test God. So it says Rabbi Yochanan, that this is what Reb Hoshaya says, chutz mizo, that this is the exception. That when the pasuk says that you shall surely tithe, that aser kidesha tis asher, that you shall tithe and then you will become wealthy. Says Rabbi Hoshaya, this is the exception to the rule. In this case, you can actually test God. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Aviu es kol ha'maiso beso otzer, bring all of the tithes to the storage facility. V'yiterev bevesi, and there will be food in my house. Uv'chanuni no bazos amar Hashem tzvakos, and test me, says God. He says, test me. Im lo eftach lochem es arubos hashamayim, if I will not open up the windows of the heavens, varikosi lachem bracha, and rain down upon you, empty down upon you blessing, ad blee until you can't get enough. What does that mean? My ad blee what does it mean ad blee? Omar Ram Bachama Omar Rab Achiyivlu Sifsosechim Milom Mardai, that your lips will get so worn out from saying enough, that the Eibishter is giving you so much givaldiga good stuff that you're going to say enough already, and it just keeps on coming. So the God says, "Uvchanuni na bazos, im lo eftach lachem arubos hashamayim varikosi lachem bracha ad blee." That the Eibishter says, test me, separate meiser, and you'll see. You're going to get so much good stuff that your lips are going to get tired from saying enough already. I have so much good stuff already. Omalei yihavas moti awesome lai psuka lo avis tzrichno loch ulhoshaya rabach ho. So says the Yingel to Rabbi Yochanan, if only I would have already learned that pasuk from Malachi, then I wouldn't need you or your Rebbe Hoshaya. Wow, this little boy already he's sharp. All right. Another time, Rabbi Yochanan found his nephew, Rish Lakish's son, Yosef Omar, that the boy was saying, that you have a fellow who is a nudnik, and he gets afflictions, and who does he get upset at? Not himself, of course. He gets upset at the Eibishter. Yosef Rabbi Yochanan v'kamitama. So Rabbi Yochanan asked the question. He says, "Amar mi'ika midi d'chsivi b'chsuvei d'lo remizi baraisa." Now it says Rabbi Yochanan, is it possible to have anything that's written in the ksuvim? Right, this pasuk is from Mishlei. So is it possible that there's something that's in the ksuvim in Tanakh that is not written already in the Torah? Amalei atu ha milo remize, to which the Yingel says, what do you mean? We have a precedent for this concept in the Torah. The pasuk says, that the brothers by Joseph in Egypt. So it says that all of a sudden they got very nervous, and they said, "Mazos asa Elokim lanu." What did God? Why has God done this to us? What do you mean? Why has God done this to us? Why did we do it to ourselves? Why were we such nudniks? Why did we sell away our brother? That's what they should have said. Why did we sell away our brother? Why are we such nudniks? But they didn't say that. They said, "What's God doing?" So Rabbi Yochanan looked at this Yingel, looked at his nephew. Now, as Rashi points out, Rabbi Yochanan was a very large fellow. To the extent that his eyelids would cover his eyes, they needed special tweezers to kind of open up his eyelids so that he could see. Now that's a madrega. That's a madrega. So he lifted his eyes, and he looked at the Yingel, Asiime, and immediately his sister, this boy's mother, comes out, Afikte, and immediately whisked away her son, Omrale, and she said to Rabbi Yochanan, and she says to the boy, Tomi Kame, get away from Rabbi Yochanan, lest he do to you like he did to your father, because it says that Rabbi Yochanan, the Gemara in Baba Metzia, that describes sort of the relationship that Rabbi Yochanan has with Rish Lakish. And it says over there that ultimately when it didn't work out so good in the end, where Rabbi Yochanan stared at Rish Lakish, and it was a deathly stare, Lamaisa. So his sister, Rish Lakish's widow, whisked away her son, and she says, "Hey, quickly get out of here! He's going to kill you with that stare, like he killed your father." Rabbi Yochanan says, Rabbi Yochanan, Mata b'shvil Yochid parnosa b'shvil rabim. That while the Eibishter might bring rain for an individual, something nice, but real parnosa, real shefa, is only on account of a whole congregation that needs it. So if one fellow needs a shtickle rain, the Eibishter will help him out, but it's not going to be like, big time stuff just for one fellow. For that you need a congregation. Mata b'shvil yachad, how do you know that the Eibishter brings rain for a fellow? The pasuk says, Yiftach Hashem l'cha, that the Eibishter will open up for you, singular, as Otzaru Atov, his good storage facility, to give the rain of your land. How do you know that the Eibishter brings real parnosa, real geshmake, shefa for a whole congregation? The pasuk says, Hinni mamtir lochem, I will rain down to you, plural, lechem, that's referring to the man, the bread from the heavens. So we see that the Eibishter brings real geshmake stuff for a congregation. Meisve, we have a kasha. Rabbi Yosef Babuda Omer, says Rabbi Yosef Babuda, Shlosha parnosim tovim amdu li Yisrael eluhein. Ho 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 ho. Friends, you ready for this? There were 3 amazing, leaders that the Yidden had. And these are them, Moshe, Aharon, and Miriam. They also happen to be 3 siblings. Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. V'gimu matanis tovis nitnu al yodam, and there were 3 gifts that were given on their account. Ve'eluein, these are them, Be'er v'anon v'amon. The Be'er shel Miriam, the well of Miriam, Ve'anon, as well as the Anoni HaKavod, the clouds of glory, V'aman, as well as the manna. Be'er b'schus Miriam, Amur Anon b'schus Aharon, Man b'schus Moshe. And the well of Miriam was in the merit of Miriam. The clouds of glory were in the merit of Aharon, and the manna was in the merit of Moshe Rabbeinu. Meisa Miriam nistali kabe'er. Now, when Miriam passed away, so then her well, sort of went away with her. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, "Vatamus sham Miriam," that Miriam passed away. Uchsiv basei. What does it say afterwards? V'lohayu mayim lo eda. That all of a sudden there was no water for the people. So we see that the well, that the Be'er shel Miriam, the well that accompanied the Yidden in the desert, was connected to Miriam, was on account in the merit of Miriam, and when she passed away, it went away as well. But it came back. How come? In the merit of both Moshe and Aharon. Meis Aharon, but when Aharon passed away, Nistalko Anone Kovid, well then the clouds of glory went away with him. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Vayishma Knaini Melech Orod. This, of course, is a Gemara that we saw on the Afgim of Masechta Rosh Hashanah, that the Knaini, the king of Orod, heard. Right? It says that he heard Ki Ba'yisod Chasarim, that the Yidden came. So Mashmu Hashama, what exactly did he hear? Shama Shemeis Aharon v'nistalko Anone Kovid. That he heard that Aharon passed away, and therefore, because Aharon went away, the Anoni HaKavod went away, Oichit. Uchsaver, and he figured, Nidna lo rishus nilachem b'Yisrael. And he thought that then he had permission to fight with the Yidden. And this is what it says, Vayiru kol ha'eda ki gava Aharon, that the entire congregation saw that Aharon passed away. Omer babo al tikre vayiru el vayiro. Don't say that they saw, but rather they were exposed, they were seen. And like Rish Lakish, ki mishamash bar b'lashonis, that the word ki can mean one of 4 things. It can mean if, Dilma, perhaps, Ella, rather, Deha, that. Okay? Now, Chazushneim b'schus Moshe. Now, both of them came back from Moshe, right? So, when Miriam passed away, so the well went away, but in the merit of Moshe and Aharon, so it came back. When Aharon passed away, so then the what's it called? The clouds of glory went away. But we're saying that both of them came back, that both the well as well as the clouds of glory came back in the merit of Moshe. When Moshe passed away, Nistalku Kulan, then all three went away. The well of Miriam, the clouds of glory, and the manna. Shneimar, as the Apostle says, "Va'achid eshloshes haroim b'yerech echad," that I took away the three shepherds in one month. B'yerech echad mesu. Did Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam all pass away in the same month? But 1 second, Miriam passed away in Nisan. Aaron passed away, as we know, from the beginning of Masechet Rosh Hashanah in Av, in the month of Av. Moshe ba'Adar, and Moshe passed away in Adar. So what does it mean that the Eibishter took away Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam all in the same month? What it means is that the gifts that came on their account were all taken away at once, because they all kind of kept on coming back until finally Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, and then all of them kind of went away and never returned. Friends, so what do we see? What's the question? Who could tell me what the question is? The question is that we see that that water came on the count for the congregation, right? Parnasa came on the count of one person, on the count of Moshe Rabbeinu alone. Right? We had said at the beginning, Parnasa b'shvil Rabbim, that the Eibishter will bring an abundance of water for the congregation, but here we see that he brought back abundance of water for just Moshe Rabbeinu. So Am Ashkacham Parnasa b'shvil Yochid. So we see Parnasa for one person, for Moshe Rabbeinu. Shiny Moshe came into the Rabbim Ubai. So we say, no, it's different. Moshe Rabbeinu, after all, he wasn't just hoarding the water for himself. The water, the Be'er Shel Miriam, was coming on account of the Yidden. So therefore, it's basically, Ki'ilu for the Yidden, not just for one person. Rav Huna bar Manoach, Rav Shmuel bar Idi, Rav Chia mivastanya, Havashchichi Kamid, they were students of Rava. They would go to Rava's yeshiva. Kinoch nafshe de Rava. Now, when Rava passed away, also l'kamid Rav Papa, so they moved on to Rav Papa's yeshiva, and they would learn by Rav Papa. Whenever Rav Papa would be teaching, and this trio, Rav Huna bar Manoach, Rav Shmuel bar Idi, and Rav Chia mivastanya, they would feel that the teaching of Rav Papa wasn't, they thought that maybe it was lacking to an extent. So they would kind of like make signs, make signals to each other. And Rav Papa noticed this, and he was self-conscious about it. And he felt bad about it. Now then, Rav Papa, when he was sleeping in his dream, they read to him that the pasuk says that I removed all the three shepherds together, in one month. Excuse me. So it was kind of like a sign, like these three fellows are gonna die. So the next day after the shir, Rav Papa kind of blessed these three people that they shouldn't die, because otherwise they were gonna die. So Mimele, Rav Papa had to kind of save them, essentially, because in his dream they indicated that these fellows, because they were not being very nice, so they were going to die. That we lost the three shepherds, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam together, alluding to the fact that Rav Huna bar Manoach, Rav Shmuel bar Idi, and Rav Chia mivastanya were in big trouble. But the Maaseh, we say that so Rav Papa kind of blessed them that they should be okay. Says the Gemara, Rav Shimi bar Ashi avashchiach kamid Rav Papa. So if Shimi bar Ashi would learn by Rav Papa, have a makshele tuva, and Rav Shimi bar Ashi would ask a lot of kashas to Rav Papa. Yom echad chazi dunofala al ape. And one time, Rav Shimi bar Ashi noticed that Rav Papa, when he was saying Tachanun, Shami de Omer Achmonu litzla mikisufa de Shimi, and Rav Papa said, God, please save me from the embarrassment, from the humiliation of Shimi. Rav Shimi bar Ashi then realized, like, I should probably chill out, and he stopped giving Rav Papa a hard time. All right. Now, not just Rabbi Yochanan, but Rish Lakish also holds that the Eibishter will bring rain for a fellow. The Rish Lakish says, how do we know that the Eibishter will bring rain for a fellow? Dichsiv, as the pasuk says, Shalom Hashem Matu Beis Malkosh, that ask from the Eibishter rain, at the end of the season. Hashem Oseh Chazizim, and the Eibishter makes clouds. Umater Geshem Yitin Loem, and he gives rain to a fellow. Leish Esev Basade, to a fellow for his grass in his field. Yachol L'chol. Is it possible that in order to get rain, everybody needs to have rain? It's not just for an individual. Talmud Lomar Leish. It says no, to a fellow. Even an individual fellow, the Eibishter will give him rain. If we're saying that the Eibishter will bring rain for a fellow, maybe it's only if all of his fields need rain. Talmud Lomar Sadeh. Therefore it says no, even just the field. But if it's a field, is it possible that maybe Taka, if the whole field needs it? Talmud Lomar Esev, even just a blade of grass, the Eibishter will bring water for the blade for the blade of grass. Rav Daniel, Rav Katina, like Rav Daniel, the son of Rav Katina, Havalei Ayiginsa, he had a certain garden. Kol Yom Hava also V'sirlei, and every day he would go and inspect the garden. Omar Ha Mishra Ba'yamaya, Va Mishra Lo Ba'yamaya, and he would inspect the garden every day, the field, whatever it was. Check out each furrow. You would say, this furrow needs rain. This furrow doesn't need rain. But also mitra v'kamashke kolecha d'mibayle maya. And sure enough, it would rain in the places where he needed the rain. Right? The furrows that he said, this furrow can use some water. So the maise, it would rain on those furrows. Maya shemosa chazizim. What does it mean that the Eibishter makes clouds? Amr Rabbi Yosef b'Chanino mnam shekol tzadik v'tzadik. HaKadosh Baruch Hu oselo chozes b'fnei atzmo. So it teaches that every single righteous fellow, the Eibishter makes a cloud for him. Wow, that is cool. A cloud. You could purchase a star or something like that, right? But you have to buy it. I guess the Eibishter just gives clouds to righteous people. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Get your own cloud. Fine. My chazizim. So what are these chazizim? Amr of Yehuda porchis. So if Yehuda says chazizim are porchis. Amr of Yochanan siman lamater porchis. Yochanan says, how do you know if it's going to rain? Porchis. My porchis. What are porchis? Amr of Papa says, a Papa eva klisha to say eva smichta. It's a sort of thin cloud under a thick cloud. That's a porchis. Amr of Yehuda. Nihila Mikami Mitra, Asi Mitra. Rav Yehuda says that if ever it drizzles, then it's gonna rain stark. Basar Mitra, Pasuk Mitra. But if it's raining stark, and then it kind of tapers off into a drizzle, so where am I? Basar Mitra, Pasuk Mitra means that the rain is tapering out, it's on its way out. Mikami Mitra, Asi Mitra, V'simanach Mahulta. That before we said if it drizzles before it rains, right? So it's mamish going to rain stark. So it's like a sieve, a sifter, a sieve that I guess first the sort of thinner flour goes through, and then the thicker flour. The basar mitra, pasuk mitra, v'simana chayre de'ize, and the drizzle at the end of the starke rain, that is like goat dung. I'm not an expert when it comes to goat dung. I'm not an expert when it comes to many things. Apparently, goat dung comes out stark and then kind of tapers off. So just like the rain, if it's raining stark, it then tapers off and then all done. Ula ikla leBavel. Ula visited Bavel. Chaza porchis. So Ula went to Bavel and he saw porchis. Amalus, he said to them, Panu money, mitra. So he said to them, well, friends, there's porchis in the sky. That means it's going to rain. So you better put away, you better bring your things inside. The sof lo asi mitra. And guess what? In the end, it didn't rain. Omar, so Ula says, well, ki echi de mishakri bavloi Hachi Mishakrim Mitrayu. Just like the Babylonians are a bunch of liars, so is their rain. Alright? Friends, this is a Gemara that we saw in Masechta Pesachim. Ula ikla leBavel. Ula visited Bavel, Chazi Milo Tzana de Tamri Bezuza, and he noticed that you could buy a whole basket full of dates for a zuz. Omar Milo Tzana de Duvsha Bezuza, Ubavloi Aski Baraisa. Bavloi Lo Aski Baraisa. Right, so Ula's astonished. He says, you can come to Bavel, and for one zuz, you can buy a basket full of honey, and yet I would expect the Babylonians to mamish be studying Torah all day. For just one zuz, you can mamish get madani ola. For one zuz, you can get a basket full of delicious geshmaka dates. With these kinds of deals and this kind of availability at your fingertips, you should just be studying Torah all day. Belayla tzaruhu, and guess what happened that night? Shilshul. That night he had shilshul, he had diarrhea. And he says, I changed my mind. It's not a basket full of honey for a zuz, it's a basket full of knives for a zuz. He couldn't control his digestion. He had shilshul. And he says, wow, such baskets full of knives all over the place just for a zuz. It's crazy that here in Bavel they managed that they nonetheless managed to study Torah. Alright, I guess he changed his things turned around. Alright, what do I mean to tell you? Tani, we learned about Friends, this, of course, is a Gemara that we saw in Masechta Eruvin. That says Rabbi Eliezer that the entire world drinks from the waters of the ocean. That the way that it works is that the water initially comes from the ocean. From the ocean it goes up to the heavens. In the heavens they get sweetened over there. And then they rain down onto the earth and provide water for the earth. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, "Ve'ed yailim in haaretz v'ishka es kol pnei adama." The pasuk says in Parshas Bereishis that a mist will come up from the land, from the ground, and water the ground. Omer lo Rabbi Yoshua v'alo memi okeanos meluchene. Rabbi Yoshua responds to Rabbi Eliezer. He says, "Wait a second, but the waters of the ocean are salty, and we don't. Salty water is not helpful. We need sweet waters." So Omer lo mimatkin ba'avim. Yeah. So Rabbi Eliezer says, yeah. What happens is the salty waters come up from the ocean and then get sweetened up in the clouds. Rabbi Yeshua Omer kol olam kulu mimayim elyonim ushose. So Rabbi Yeshua says, look, I say that the waters that the world drinks from are the upper waters, the waters from that originate in the heaven, not in the ocean. Shenemar Zabaz says, that from the rain of the heavens, you'll be drinking water. So then what does he do with the pasuk that says that a mist will come up from the ground in order to provide water? So says Rabbi Yeshua, you know what that means? It means that the clouds go up further up in the sky, kinod, and they open up their mouths like a pitcher of sorts, like a container. Umkadlin meimater, and they receive the water. Shenemar, as the pasuk says. What does the pasuk say? Yazoku mater leedo, that it will provide water to the cloud. And then these clouds are perforated like sieves, and then they rain down, irrigate water onto the land. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, that the irrigation of water from the heavens. And between each drop is like a hair's breadth only, so it's difficult to walk between the drops. To teach you that is to teach you that that a rainy day is like the day that the heavens and earth were created. Shnemar Osegdolus ve'ein cheker, that the puzzle says that the Eibishter does gewaldige things and there's no measurement, there's no cheker. Uchsevanosin mata pnei aretz. It says that he brings rain to the ground, to the land. Uchsev lahalon, and it says halo yadaitem lo shamaita. Did you not know? Did you not hear? Eloki olam Hashem, that the God of the world, God, ein cheker l'svunaso, there's no cheker, there's no checking his understanding. So we see that it says cheker in the context of rain, of water, and it says cheker in the context of the creation of the world. So therefore we see that a rainy day is as gewaldig as the day that the world was created. Okay, so we saw that there's a machlokas between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehoshua. That Rabbi Eliezer says that the waters come from the ground, from the ocean, and then they go up to the sky and back down to the world. Whereas Rabbi Yehoshua says that they taka originate in the heavens. So, like, who does the following go? Does it go like Rabbi Eliezer, or does it go like Rabbi Yehoshua? Well, okay, let's see. Mashkahar me'al Yosef, that he irrigates the mountains from Al Yosef, from the aboveness. Va'amar Rabbi Yochanan me'al Yosef shal Kodesh Baruch Hu. It comes from up where the Eibishter is. So, Kaman Rabbi Yehoshua. So that sounds taka like Rabbi Yehoshua, who says that the rain comes from the heavens. Rabbi Eliezer came to Saki La'asam Mashke me'al Yosef Karlu. Whereas Rabbi Eliezer says, meh, that's not such a big deal. Meaning they originate from the ocean, but once already they go up to the sky where they get sweetened and come back down. So once they already go up to the sky, so the Mashke me'al Yosef Karlu, it's already considered that it comes from the heavens. Because if you don't say like this, that it says in the curses that there's going to be dust and dust coming from the heavens. So how can you have dust coming from the heavens? Rather, it is that, well, once the dust and the dust comes from the ground up to the heavens, it's already considered like it's from the heavens. So here oichet, here as well, once the water gets from the ocean and goes up to the sky, so it's already considered like it comes from the sky. Alright, fine. Like, who does the following statement of Reb Chanina go? That the Eibishter makes like a column the waters of the sea. Nosin botzaros tohomos, and he puts the tohomos, the depths in his storage places. Migarim leotzaros shishmalu bar tohomos. So what causes the storage places to be filled with grain? It's the depths. Rabbi Eliezer. So that taka sounds like Rabbi Eliezer, right? That it says that the depths are what causes storage houses to be filled up. Meaning the rain, the water that comes from the depths, comes from the ocean. That's what provides water to the world to fill up the storage houses. Rabbi Yehoshua, whereas Rabbi Yehoshua says, that's talking about when the world was created. So the Eibishter, brought stuff, so the Eibishter brought, took the water from the ground and kind of separated them and stuff. But generally speaking, says Rabbi Yehoshua, the water taka comes from the heavens. Friends, that was daf Tes of Masechta Taanis. There was some gishmaka stuff on this daf l'maaseh. Right? We learned about Iser Taiser, that give Meiser, so you become rich, and you can even test the Eibishter, right? It says, we learned about the three great leaders of Israel, Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam, and that for Miriam there was the well, for Aaron there was the clouds of glory, and for Moshe there was the mun, and that as each one passed away, the remaining ones would sort of bring back the other ones that were associated with the ones who passed away, until finally Moshe passed away, and then all three kind of went away. We saw this machlokes about between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehoshua about where does rain come from. Rabbi Eliezer says that rain initially comes from the ocean, goes up to the sky, gets sweetened, and then comes back down. Rabbi Yehoshua says no, l'maaseh, the water originates in the heavens and rains down from there. Friends, that was Daf Tes of Masechta Taanis. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Peace out.